Welcome to the Squared Circle Jerks podcast.
We're not even in the right room. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. Let's go to the right room.
I'm leaving.
User left your channel. Channel switch.
We're now in the right room. Ugh.
Holy recording quality.
I mean, I don't think it makes a tremendous difference. Let us know if from this point onwards the audio is crystal clear.
I think you're drunk.
No, I'm not. That's the sad part.
It's not my fault. You could have stopped on the way home. But no.
I could have, but I had to go get boots, which there is no real booze store near where I got the boots. So
It sounds boots and booze. Anybody want an opportunity opening up a store, I will totally front that and make it look good.
I mean, it does roll off the tongue. This is an episode of first though for us. This is the first time we're going to be reviewing an Impact Wrestling weekly episode. That is a proper one and not a turkey suit competition.
Yeah.
It is also our first time reviewing the NXT UK. Watched episodes 13 and 14 of that. And we have our standard NXT as well. Is there anything you'd like to add before we get into the action?
Hail Satan.
Satan is hailed.
All right.
So, we open up with the NXT. The NXT main brand, kind of. This is the December 5th episode. Opened up with Matt Riddle versus the debuting Punishment Martinez. They actually got him on TV quick. Yay.
Good theme song.
Like the theme song. Needs to turn the volume up from like a 5 to like an 8.
Yeah.
That would be excellent. This was everything you'd really kind of suspect from this match. Two guys who work a MMA style, we'll put it that way, to a degree. Lots of kicks, lots of stiff strikes, and Riddle wins by the Bro Mission. I think this match could have been longer based on some of the other stuff that was on the show that just really didn't need to be, I guess, in a nutshell. And Cassius Ohno came out to nail Riddle with a roaring elbow after the match, so we're not done with the Ohno-Riddle feud, which is fine. I'd like to see them have an actual match.
I mean, they're going to take about 8 months to work up to that, but okay.
I hope not, but we'll see. Ricochet basically announced that he will defend the North American title next week. He's going to ask Mr. Regal who he has in mind. We had a very amusing heavy machinery package of them working out and eating steaks.
So, yeah, Tucky.
Everything you'd expect. You have a Tucker Knight turns heel theory, do you not?
Yeah, well, basically just based on the body language and the sort of tone that Tucker Knight was taking, and just the way he was talking about, oh yes, we have to climb to great, we shall climb to greatness, and we shall do these, and this is a heel turn. Come on, I can see that a mile away.
Yeah, wouldn't be a terribly big fan of a heel turn on this.
Not at all.
Not
it's
just
the worst idea. There's way too much money to be made. Better turn them heel and break them up.
Yeah, well, it's not even just that, like, heavy machinery is a marketable commodity and so on, but it's like with a guy like the size of Tucker Knight and whose cardio is not great, we'll just go with that. Do I really want to see him in singles matches?
No, I don't. Honestly, up until Dozer had the match against Ciampa, I didn't want to see him in a singles match ever. Like, it's very clear that Tucker Knight is more athletic than his build, and their tag team work lets on. And that kind of goes both ways with Dozer. But I don't, like, there's no reason to break them up. You've got such a good dynamic going on here. But if you can somehow do the DIY 2.0 thing with me and prove to me that both of these guys can stand on their own fantastically, then I'm fine with it, but I know how it's going to go. Tucker Knight's going to turn on Dozer because they want to push Dozer, and then Tucker Knight's going to be the Marty Jannetty, and he's going to be out of wrestling in like a year and a half. Then they'll sour on Dozer after 6 months, and he will be out of the business in 3 years.
The problem is that while NXT is high on Dozer, the main roster is high on Tucker. So I feel like this is just going to be a heel turn for the sake of getting Tucker to the main roster. And we have a honestly kind of a cast situation again, where we really like this guy because he's tall and reasonably good looking, and that's kind of really as far as we've thought it.
Yeah, but he's not in good shape, and he's not going to get in good shape.
Well, Tucker's in good shape.
Better. Huh?
Tucker's in pretty solid shape.
No, he's not.
For a man of him, I've seen pictures of him pre-NXT, and it was bigger. So...
Cool, but he's still not in anywhere resembling good shape. And he's not going to get there. That's the end of that story.
We'll see. I'm not as convinced on that, but I am convinced that the main roster will just ruin him.
Yeah, well, what you've got right now is you've got Good Times Demolition. And Demolition was a fantastic team. None of those guys were ever in good shape. Not in any point of their career, never in good shape.
Not particularly, no.
And Demolition is the longest rating tag team of all time because I don't give a shit about the New Day and the very, very casually booked comedy routine that they were for, 3 years running.
I mean, arguably they still are.
Well, yeah, but as champions. Yeah. Based on back in the day when you actually had to be a top guy to be a top guy, or at least be a top guy with political and, a little political savvy to you, it was very clear after a while that the New Day was just another political thing. It was... All it is a statement to Demolition that you're suing us and fuck your record. That's all that was. It was
well, yeah, that's all that is, the breaking of the record. And that's all it was when Nikki Bella broke AJ Lee's record. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They just don't want to mention people who otherwise are negative on the company.
Yeah. But that's the problem, is you don't have to be vindictive. You don't have to bring it up.
Did the same thing with Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton back when Lesnar left for the NFL. They had Orton break Lesnar's record for youngest champion.
Yeah, and then they had Lesnar break CM Punk's record for longest modern reign.
See, the irony, I think Lesnar's the only one who's on both sides of that whole thing. Both punished and then given.
It's just too bad no one pays to see Lesnar do anything anymore.
People still do, but I think it's a very overestimated fact.
Let me rephrase. It's just a shame that no one who doesn't wear an Affliction t-shirt pays to see Lesnar do anything anymore.
That's better.
Yay!
Well, depending. Are we going with Affliction style or Affliction the actual brand? Because Affliction the actual brand is kind of dead.
Well, I'm imagining a douche bro named Chad from Santa Monica. Maybe not Santa Monica. Maybe I don't know, somewhere in the valley. Who has owned, not only does he have, and I'm going to use air quotes here, vintage Affliction t-shirts, but he also rocks the Ed Hardy jeans. That's the kind of guy that pays for a Brock Lesnar ticket or pay-per-view.
That pretty much is the picture, yeah. I mean, if you look at the dictionary, that's probably what it is. So, in conclusion, we're hoping we're wrong, but we see a Tucker Knight heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
We then had Raul Mendoza and Humberto Carrillo versus Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake. It's a perfectly fine, acceptable match. Cutler and Blake went over.
I had to go clean up a leak while this match was happening, but I do remember that your boy Percy Jackson butchered both of those poor Hispanic boys' names.
He was pretty on with Mendoza, but he was fucking Carrillo up left and
It was
center.
like Humbert Carrillo or Humbert Carius or something like that, and then it was Roll. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and listen to it, but it was. I listened to it and thought I was having the stroke, not him. It was bad.
It was pretty bad. I don't remember him butchering Mendoza's name, but I could have just missed it. Yeah.
It was like Raul Mendocino or something like that.
I do largely tune out Percy Jackson, and it's not And even I'm calling him Percy Jackson. Fuck. Percy Watson. And it's not that I think Percy Watson cannot be a good commentator. I just don't like the character that they really have him playing. And
Okay, I just rebooked that in my mind. Are you ready for the way we get Percy Jackson over?
Okay.
Percy Jackson gets to be on like an ECW R-rated online only streaming service. You gotta buy the network to see it type scenario. And he gets to be the goofy, lovable whatever. And every time he fucks up, whoever it is that's the heel commentator gets to say to Percy Watson, "No shit, Sherlock."
Might work.
And
That's
that's
one
his
thing I'm
life.
doing now. Anyways, I don't really know where the Forgotten Sons fit in NXT right now. It's kind
They
of,
do not.
Yeah, and I don't really know. I'm not familiar with Steve Cutler's work pre NXT, but one would think that both Blake and Riker have realistically been ready to go to the main roster for some time. So why not? Because
Sure.
you don't really have anything for them to do down here. And we've seen this because they went and they're getting wins over the Carrillos and the Mendozas of the world, and then they're jobbing to Heavy Machinery. It's not really doing them anything.
They do the job.
Anyways, we then had Velveteen Dream do a backstage interview. I really like the pause. This is missing something. The snap the fingers and the ambiance turns up. Like,
Yeah, it's alright.
I like that part. Not tremendously feeling the rest of the promo though.
Yeah, me neither. Velveteen Dream. He keeps doing this dream over thing. And there's only two meetings.
I'm not entirely certain what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, and the thing of it is that he never tries to intimate one way or the other. So either over being I'm over with the fans, which he's over with a very small pocket of vocal NXT fans.
It's a pretty vocal chunk.
Yeah,
I think it would carry over to the main roster.
I think it's going to die on the vine. I think he's going to get out there and people are like, hey, it's that guy. And that's it. Or dream over meaning he's killing his own career one match at a time. Because he's been shouting this dream over thing for forever. Every single time he loses a huge match.
Basically since he lost to Ricochet. And
Yeah.
when he lost to Ricochet, I kind of thought, okay, this is going to lead to something, right? And
Nope.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
Nothing ever happened. It's just dream over. Okay, so stop being the dream then. Stop. Because it's over. Or stop saying dream over.
And he mentioned
You've got two
Triple H,
choices.
so please tell me he's not going to the main roster. 'Cause he's not ready.
He's
He's not ready.
Going to the main roster so fast.
Oh, probably.
And they'll put him on TV once and you'll never see him again.
I'd say 3 times, but yes. We had a actually pretty amusing promo from the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole being very worried that people can't get in where they are.
We
the
lock
doors
the
are locked,
right?
right?
There's no other way? Okay.
Basically, we get Bobby Fish giving a warning to EC3 about the deep end and there being sharks there, and this was all good stuff. But they did kind of bury every tag team that might take them on, which...
Well, I mean, that's their job. They're heels.
that is their job, but I just wish that their statements weren't really, really true.
Well, from the outside looking in, seeing how they book people, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to... The problem is that the Undisputed Era, or pre-distributed area, depending on how you like it, basically, they've been booked into a corner since day one. There's nowhere for them to go. There's nowhere for them to climb. There's no chance that they're ever going to book anybody to beat them long term. There's nothing for them on the main roster. There's nothing. They're stuck. They're stuck right there. They're going to be either you call them up to the main roster and they're the new Sanity, which you never see and always loses. Or you leave them where they are, and people are like, why aren't they on the main roster? And then you go and you point at Sanity, and then people go, oh yeah. And then everybody loses heart, and then they stop watching.
It's not far from the truth. We had Dakota Kai take on Shayna Baszler with, of course, 4 horsewomen, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir at ringside. This was a reasonably good match, although I found the selling of really both women to be a bit weird. Kai with the arm, kind of just inconsistent, not tremendously great. Honestly, kind of like her match with Lacey Evans as well. And Baszler would just towards the end of the match, I think she might have legit tweaked her knee because she's just falling over and shit, not really selling an injury per se, just kind of falling over I don't know what that was sort of deal. So hopefully that's nothing actually serious, and I'm just reading slightly too much into that or something. Baszler goes over because she should. In this particular match, he is the champ. And Io Shirai saves Dakota Kai from a beatdown afterwards, which is also fine. I didn't... Aside from the selling being a bit weird, I had no real problems with this segment.
Yeah, I didn't have any problems with it. It was just everything by the absolute numbers. This is shit that I saw back in the 80s. Nothing new, nothing exciting, nothing special, nothing well done. It was just a thing that was on TV.
We had a Chris Dijak promo. He is now going by the name Dijakovic.
See.
And some of his dialogue here made me think we're getting maybe kind of an ethnic cleansing character.
He is Brackus. He is Brackus 2.0.
It might be Brackus 2.0. We'll see where that goes. I wish it all the best because big Dijak fan, and we've been complaining about him not being used for a long time. So let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes.
I'm hopeful.
Then we had Tommaso Ciampa come out to the ring to talk about how no one believes in him, including Mauro Ranallo. Really seemingly hyping up a feud with the announcer, which is a bit weird.
This is the second or third time that's happened in 8 months, where somebody's come out and taken a direct shot at Mauro, and then nothing happens. I don't know why.
Not really sure what's going on with that, to be honest. And then this got really, really good. Aleister Black came out to invoke his rematch clause. He's absolved Johnny Gargano of his sins, and it's now Ciampa's turn. And then Johnny Gargano would like a word, and Ciampa is loving this and has the great line of I'm always happy when you leave Johnny wrestling in the back and bring out Johnny Badass.
To which the crowd immediately starts chanting, Johnny Badass.
Indeed, although this is more like Johnny Psycho Stalker, to be a little bit honest, because,
Psycho Stalker, qu'est-ce que c'est?
As Ciampa put it, I know better than anyone else that when Johnny Gargano isn't done with you, he's not done with you. And basically Ciampa being I think you guys should have been in the cage at War Games. In fact, if I were you, I would want to finish my business in a steel structure.
But he's just leaning over the top rope back into the ring while the two are facing off. Just go, hey guys, you know what would be a good idea? Hey guys, poke, poke, poke. Fantastic. This was great. See,
this was great.
And I mentioned this when we were watching this after this was done, that the last thing I want is any of these three guys to come out and just into the camera at the crowd. Jesus Christ. Stop. I've seen all of the Tomato Chompers bits, vignettes, promos backstage into his own camera. I don't need him to come out into the ring and do it again one more time in front of people so that he can be seen and get a reaction and get some heat. He's already got heat. You don't need it. But this was great because they had everybody involved.
No man has had the heat that Ciampa has right now. It's cooled down a little bit, but the heat that he had even 2 months ago,
Yeah.
No one's had that heat in like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm on kind of two sides of this. In regards to the eventual booking of this storyline, there's part of me that really desperately wants dirty DIY, and then there's another part of me that desperately wants Aleister Black to be the guy who stabs people in the back. But then there's another part of me who desperately wants Johnny Gargano to be the actual puppet master, and he's the one that's been spinning everybody off, and it looks like he lost to Black, but he's like, oh no, I knew what I was doing the whole time. I knew, and I stood there and took it. I knew what I was doing. Like there's three ways this can go that it would make me.
What diabolical mastermind has been behind this the whole time?
Yeah, who's the real puppet
It
master?
was me, Sunshine!
Yeah. That would be that's a fourth option that I'm totally fine with. But it's just like there's too many different ways this can. There's three or four now different ways that this can go that will simultaneously make me very happy, but also sad that the other two didn't happen. So I kind of want dirty DIY, but then who's the real champ? Because there's no way Gargano can just not be the champ. So is he the one manipulating the whole shit so that he eventually gets another title shot because he knows how badly he fucked up in the first place? Is the black lipstick on Candice LeRae a hint that everybody's going? Are we going to have a heel triumvirate, which, a three-way dirty DIY, which that's a whole other video on the internet. But I'm intrigued as to what's going on here, and I hope that it's one of those 3 or 4 Sunshine things, and not something fucking lame where just like somebody just, I have like Aleister Black wins and he wins the title back and everybody's like, yay, and then it's done. Or Gargano or Ciampa just retains the title through more shenanigans, and then it's like, I guess, I suppose, but I want that fucking hot angle again. I want that Gargano perpetrating some homicide on Ciampa type scenario. I want I need that feud of the year. I need that back. I can quit anytime.
Hell, you cannot quit anytime, let's be honest.
Fine, damn it.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this whole storyline has been the booking of Candice, because
they haven't booked her.
Well, she doesn't have her own individual storyline, and then how she's been tied into this with, the Nikki Cross stuff and the Bianca Belair stuff has been just not good, just bad, and
correct.
It's a bit of a waste because she's a fantastic talent.
Hot off the Bleacher Report app on my phone, there is semi-word rumor that they are working on a Cain Velasquez versus Francis Ngannou fight. Over under half a week before Cain Velasquez, after the official announcement that Cain Velasquez can't fight because of injury.
I'm going to go over. I'm going to say 1 full week.
Ooh, a full week?
You're
a bold man.
And I have no predictions for that fight, because, Cain Velasquez, the monster that we knew, and as far as we know still exists, would win that fight. But
he just outpaces the shit out of it.
What Cain Velasquez actually is
he's an old man.
I would argue the greatest unknown in all of MMA right now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we finished this off with Black going for Black Mass against Gargano. Gargano dodges it, gets out of dodge, and a laughing Ciampa gets it.
Yeah, that was hilarious. So yeah, you think that's funny? Whack.
So yeah, this is great. There's a lot of potential for this storyline to absolutely kick ass. Don't think that any of the rest of this show is really worth going to watch and get out of your way. Well, no. Riddle versus Punishment Martinez was a solid match.
It was alright, yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
Officially, Dijak will be going by the name Dominic Dijakovic.
I'm fine with that.
Or Dijakovic, depending on your own personal interpretation.
I would assume Djokovic would be most likely.
I believe it will be Smith.
Definitely not that. That would be a very weird
all the letters are
pronunciation.
silent. All the letters are silent. Never mind.
It's very weird if that's the case. Then we go on to NXT UK with the Rip Dynamite Kid.
He was an asshole.
He was an asshole, and that's really all I got to say on the matter.
He was an asshole, and now he's dead from probably assholitis.
I will say Dynamite Kid is an example of fucking karma, though. Jesus Christ.
Correct.
Went out on his birthday. Interesting little fact. Anyways, we opened up with Gallus, the Coffee Brothers, and Wolfgang. This is fine. This set up Travis Banks returning. Joe Coffey challenges him. Heels jump him quick, and Mustache Mountain to the rescue.
Little known fact, Gallus is the Latin name for chicken.
Maybe.
But Gallus in the Gaelic, we looked it up when we were watching this because we wanted to know why they said Gallus like 72 times in less than 2 minutes. And it's a Gaelic slang term for basically an asshole. A bastard, somebody, I believe one of the definitions, the derogatory definitions was like somebody who should be hung.
And if they keep saying it, I'm gonna wish they get hung.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little too much of just trying to brand yourself, really. We had a Jordan Devlin promo, which was very solid outside the trump card reference, being like, I'm an ace, and the ace trumps all, and I'm like, what? No, because a on-suit jack and, in fact, a colored jack will also beat an ace in trump. So there you go.
Well, I mean, a pair of twos will beat it one ace. It's fine.
Yeah, but not in the Trump sense.
Well, listen, money beats all that because that's how he got elected.
Then, I'm not talking about that Trump.
I'm sorry.
Then we got a really, really good match between Fabian Eichner and Mark Andrews. That was really good. Eichner is amazing to watch for a guy of his size. This was dynamic. This was hard-hitting. It was very good. And Eichner going heel, I think, has a lot of potential to it.
Yeah, he came in. See, this was confusing because he's cutting face promos. He's being a jovial guy. He's here for the competition. He wants to be against the best. But he's dressed like a scumbag from the 70s. And he's got spikes on his shit. And he's got torn denim, everything, black denim. And just like, you're dressed like a fucking mall cop that wanted to be in the Road Warriors, and you want me to believe that you're just here for the competition. And so, yeah, over the course of the match, he went from very confused mixed message boy to actual heel. So, I mean, at least they did that in one match. WWE can't do much right, but they did half of this pretty correctly? Question mark.
I feel like the attire was a bit of a weird choice because it's not like that was his attire in NXT, for example.
Well, I got a theory. Maybe his baggage got lost at the airport, and he's like, "I only have my heel gear," and they're like, "Fucking put it on."
Yeah, like take away, have everything else here be the same, and give him like his face gear, and this probably makes complete sense, and we had the birth of a new awesome heel. And and the promo in the next episode fucking proved it. Yeah, which we'll talk about when we get there. But he need Mandrews in the head against the steps, and then wanted to count out. Mandrews managed to get back in and gets powerbombed for the 3.
Was it like a last ride 360 powerbomb, or like it was some kind of special powerbomb, wasn't it?
Yeah. 360 swinging powerbomb, a little bit of a jackknife action to it. Yeah.
Put some stank on it.
Yeah. Then we had a White Witch promo, which is Isla Dawn.
And we were confused yet aroused.
I'm confused by this character. She's a White Witch, which is the magic of healing, goodness, and everything. But in her promo, she's talking about like fire and poison, and she's dressed in all black.
Yeah, if you cross me, I will curse you, yada yada. I will fight you with poison on my fists. Great lines, awesome delivery, but still confusing because you're the White Witch.
Yeah. I don't... And she's kind of being booked as a face, so that further makes it weird with, like, the face White Witch, which, you know, okay, that so far so good, but then the really lack of any real understanding of what a White Witch's powers would be, and having very evil powers, it seems.
Yeah, and dressing, again, the costume, a la Fabian Eichner, sends the wrong message. She's dressed up like a semi-dominatrix type person scenario, but I'm the White Witch. Like, are you the Wicked Witch of the West, or are you Glenda the Good Witch, bitch? Like, step up and do some stuff.
I don't know why they just didn't go with the witch, because, I mean, if you want to mix white magic and black magic together, go ahead. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
but it's not like there's another witch, so just go with the witch.
Yeah, well, and then you can have a White Witch later. You can be somebody, or you can transform your character. I have, emerged from the darkness. I am now the White Witch. You can have, but I'm tempted. And so you can be a face for a while, and then you're tempted back to the darkness. And it can be a whole, but both at the same time not working here. This was like the episode of mixed messages.
Johnny Saint introduced his new assistant GM, Sid Scarla.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I kind of want to look it up and to figure out what the deal with that is. Rhea Ripley, basically just here to remind us that it's all about her. She's the champ. Moving on.
Yep.
We had Nina Samuels versus Isla Dawn. I have Pure Pink Devil versus White Witch. Very colorful match.
Yeah, it was okay. Did somebody hit a backdrop driver in this one?
Yes, the White Witch hit a backdrop driver.
All right, yeah, because I totally, like, she's got red hair, she's got an Irish accent, she hits backdrop drivers. I am very interested.
Yeah, despite all the, mixed messages stuff we mentioned before, like, we like the wrestler. We think this can go places. I think they just need to make up their mind.
Yeah, in the next episode, I was a little bit less enthusiastic because it turns out she's got an Irish accent and a lisp, and so that shit is just like, whoa, translation error, voice activation error.
I didn't mind it that much. To be
have
honest.
you seen? Oh, it doesn't bother me that much. But have you seen the skit online where they got the voice activated elevator in Ireland?
Yes.
11.
We finished off with Eddie Dennis defeating Tucker. They're building Eddie Dennis hard, and I'm fine with that. He's a good wrestler. He has some good size to him.
It was a good match. I was a little bit let down because in all the promo footage I saw of this Eddie Dennis character, he's a psycho, like psychotic, foaming at the mouth maniac, and I just saw kind of a really mean guy. It was like, okay, like
yeah. I would have preferred we got what was in the promos.
I mean, you can't totally Sabu against the fucking gurney all day, every day. I understand that, but I'm assuming this was one of his opening, or one of his few, TV spots. He might want to go all out early on.
A little bit, yeah. This is a program that's trying to establish itself and get its stars over and its character over. So yeah, that would have helped. And then our main event was Flash Morgan Webster versus Jordan Devlin. You were looking forward to this match because you of course had seen Flash Morgan Webster on 205 Live and were generally thought that he was held back and not allowed to really do much. Did this match change your opinion on Flash Morgan Webster?
Somewhat. It was still, I mean, he was still booked against a guy who was going to beat him, and everybody knows it. And we all are just waiting for the win because they're really bad at storytelling in WWE in general. So, I mean, a lot of it was dampened by that fact. But yeah, he pulled out a shit ton more in this match than I've seen him. I think he got 2 matches on 205 Live, maybe only one. But I remember his style being on point. I liked all the puns. He is the mod father. I can't remember. Isn't there a... I should have looked this up already. Isn't there a finishing move that relies on the pun for a mod?
Yes, there is.
Pray to mod or something like that.
I'll look it up.
Good enough. So... Yeah, no, I got to see way more out of him than I got to see on regular ass 205 Live, because I think he was in like a 6-man tag.
Yeah, but he was with Cedric and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, so he was definitely going to be the dude eating shit and sucking 1,000 pounds of tiny penises. But it was because you can't put faces over in WWE. You can't do that. But it was still kind of like I'm still waiting for I'm waiting for more out of him. I'm waiting for them to not push him against the top guy, and so that I can see what he can actually do against like a competent opponent who can also wrestle. I'm thinking of Brain. Come on, Brain. Like a Joseph, if I could see him versus Joseph Connors, and you're not really sure who's supposed to be winning this particular match in this feud, that's when I think you're going to see the best out of him. I like the fact that he's using a lot of puns. I like the random the style, his general sense of fashion, and his nickname is, instead of Flash Gordon, he's Flash Morgan, but then throws a last name on there as well. So that's awesome. I like that.
Cannot find a move set for him. Although, fun fact, he is actually a fully qualified teacher.
He's the new Spike Dudley.
Or the new Matt Striker. Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't really count.
That's a little harsh. Here we are. Signature moves. Doesn't have the names for them. It's 450 splash, imploding somersault senton.
Dang.
Reverse hurricane rana, senton bomb, and standing headbutt.
I think he should definitely have one called Wrath of the Mods.
I think he does. I think that's what it was.
Okay, there you go.
Not super familiar with the British wrestling scene, as you can tell.
Loser.
Neither are you.
I know a little bit.
We opened up the next episode with Joe Connors basically squashing a guy named Dan Maloney.
Who I kept calling Baloney the entire match.
Not really a ton much more to say about that. Then we got the White Witch
not Joseph Connors' best outing.
Then we got the White Witch promo where we found out she has the lisp and the Irish accent.
Yes.
Rhea Ripley basically just comes in, tells her to keep dreaming, and that she's going to have a match tonight. And she's had a hand-picked opponent.
Who turned out to be a scrub.
A little bit. Mustache Mountain and the Gallus boys got into a bit of a parking lot thingamabob, but
a fracas.
Johnny Saint and security broke that up before it really became anything. Then we had Mike Hitchman versus Dave Mastiff. Now Sans the Mohawk. Not great.
Yeah, no, I was I was definitely riffing on the he's got a delightful little haircut. Oh, Mr. Mastiff, sir. Oh, you've got a curly little mop on top of your head now, not without that nasty mohawk that made you look like a badass. I was doing that the entire match.
Yeah,
good match though.
It's surprising how much that really changes your perception of him, to be honest. Yep. But yeah, this is a very solid match. Mike Hitchman is a guy I wasn't particularly familiar with, and I'm interested in seeing more.
Yeah.
Then we had Tyson T-Bone versus El Ligero, which was your kind of standard heel dominating most of the match, and then El Ligero randomly winning.
Yeah, El Ligero is, let's just say, an inexpensive man's El Generico.
More or less.
Yeah, I'm not going to say cheap, poor man's, but, I mean, a little bit more money than that. He's not a bad wrestler. He's not a He's not he's a little bit of a ripoff, but he's not what I would call a ripoff. He's an homage, shall we say.
Mm-hmm. Then we had the aforementioned Rhea Ripley versus handpicked opponent match, which was Candy Floss.
Yeah.
Squash match. She, kind of fakes that, like, oh, shake the hand, raise the arm, and then bam, more beatdown. I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley. I first saw her at the first Mae Young Classic when she faced Dakota Kai. Thought there were big things in her future, and so far I've been pretty correct on the matter. So, yeah, let's hope that continues.
These are possibilities. I don't remember seeing her wrestle. I probably have seen her wrestle before, but I don't remember it, and this match didn't really do anything for me.
No, this is squash.
Yeah, well, even in squash, this wasn't really squash enough. This was hey, I'm clearly going to win. I'm clearly the dominant persona. I'm clearly booked to win. I'm clearly the champion. Oh, wait, I'm getting my ass kicked for a random minute and a half for no reason. I'm going to win accidentally now.
Well, that's how they do it. And, of course, Candy Floss is 18 years old, very raw. So that probably limits what Rhea Ripley can really do to her in the match.
Just book it to be 30 seconds long.
That is what I would have done personally. I would have had it be like a real Bison Smith style squash match, but that's not what we got here.
Kill the jobber.
Then we had the Fabian Eichner promo. Flash Morgan Webster was getting interviewed and goes to confront Mr. Eichner about his liberties with Mark Andrews. And Eichner is basically like, you want to do something about it? How about a match next week?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Huh? And the reporter is like, you're going to accept the challenge? He's like, yeah, I will.
So Eichner versus the mob. Eichner versus the mob father.
Correct.
And that should be good. I'm gonna look forward to that. We'll see how that goes. Yeah,
you should probably check out that comic that I just posted.
I'm aware. I'm always looking forward to Eichner matches.
Yeah.
Then we had Wolfgang with the coffees, which, I'm going to let him off this week without really any jokes. I don't know if you're going to let them off without any jokes, but in the future, there's going to be a lot of coffee jokes.
I called one of them Frappuccino and the other one Latte or something like that?
Yeah, Frappuccino and Latte, yeah. Liked the match. Very much enjoyed it. The only problem is you have your standard dumb baby face. We know Mustache Mountain is in the building. Why are they not out here right now to counter the coffees?
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? It's just WWE thinking you're a fucking moron, so why the fuck not? It's not like we have integrity or storytelling or talent or anything.
Mind you, they did make up with this by having the faces be smart at the end. Mustache Mountain came down to counter the coffees. They're brawling with them on the other side. Banks goes for a big dive. And Mustache Mountain is smart enough to get out of the way and just throw the coffees into the dive. It's amazing.
Wow, watch how this works. You get the guys that you want to hit and take damage in the way of the thing. And then the good guys don't get damaged. Isn't that wonderful?
And then Trent Savin can trip Wolfgang, and we get the 3 count for the Kiwi, Travis Banks.
Which made me laugh a great deal.
Indeed. What made me laugh was actually them celebrating afterwards, and Trent Savin's trying to lift his arm, and it's the bad arm. And Banks is like, no. As then Tyler Bate lifts the other arm, so there you go. Then we go on Impact. I'm going to kind of just go with what's good, what's bad, what's ugly with Impact. Impact is a wrestling promotion that always has something good going on. Like, legitimately, there's always something good going on in this company, even in the Hulk Hogan era, the Bischoff era, the Vince Russo era, etc., the Cornette era, the Jarrett era, whatever you want to look at. There's always something good going on, but it's like a cursed promotion where there's always something really kind of shit also going on at the same time.
For every two great things you have, there's one thing that is the giant constipation stinky turd that weighs everything down 3 feet below the surface of the water. You can't quite get any air in this promotion.
So, with that said, I'm going to go through the good parts of this show.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the Radicals being high as fuck and Scarlett Bordeaux randomly showing up to imply that she's very interested in him. And the one of them, I don't even know who it is because I only know Desmond Xavier. I don't even know the other two guys. Oiling himself up, basically.
one of them looks exactly like Nick Kroll.
A little bit. Yeah, that was funny. That was hilarious. It's like, when did she get here? When did we get a fourth chair?
Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed that quite a bit. And then at the end, the one guy goes, "Oh, I mean, it's good that she left. Bears can smell women." And,
yeah, well, they were talking. There's some kind of weird random story about a bear at a hotel and shit like that, and then Scarlett Bordeaux shows up.
Yeah,
random.
Very random. Other good things: Matt Sydal versus Ethan Page. Actually, it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. A good big man, little man match, and the storyline with Sydal being a spiritual guide, enlightenment guy is pretty good. And I like that they just didn't have Sydal get mad at the end when he lost the match and turn on his protege. And maybe he really is just that high.
Because that's some stereotypical dumbass fucking lazy son of a bitch WWE bookings. Like, I'm the guy in charge. I've been bested by my protege. Time to be an asshole. Like, Jesus Christ. I watched cartoons in the 80s, motherfucker. I saw this coming 17 years away. I didn't do that here.
Continuing on the good side, Raven as the insane asylum patient playing chess with Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
Fucking masterful.
Did you see the part in the middle where Eddie Edwards is ranting and Raven just tunes out?
Yeah.
That's actually part of the best. It's like, yeah. I hear this 3 times. I hear this once a week. Just get it off your chest.
Yeah. Anyways, he springs Eddie Edwards from the mental hospital by stealing the I assume that was the guard pass card.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the deal is going to be his credit card.
Yeah. Hey, it could be both. Basically, the storyline there, for those not paying attention, Eddie Edwards was basically went way too fucking far in his feud with Moose. And his wife committed him to an insane asylum. And I also really enjoyed the fact that Moose has been visiting him and telling him he's going to go check on Alicia for him. That's icing on the cake. The only problem is, and I'm going to get... I might as well bring it up here. Everything else about the Moose character is fucking annoying. Fucking hell.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I understand that he has a lisp, and Dusty Rhodes has a lisp, or had a lisp. And so there's a subtle polka dot theme, whether it's diamonds or otherwise, throughout Moose's whole shenanigans. But why is a guy who's at least my size a chicken shit? Eat 1,000 pounds of dick. You don't have somebody my particular size in a
He's
promotion.
a fucking former NFL O lineman.
Yeah. And, who else is in the company who's even close to his size?
Abyss is bigger, but he's part-timer.
Fair, and he's an old man. So, if you discount the part-time and Obius, you have nobody else who's even close to his size. And you're having him be a chicken shit heel? Are you higher than Vince McMahon on 3 steaks a day? What's wrong with you? I don't get it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I enjoy Moose's interaction with Eddie Edwards, just not really anything else he's doing right now. I'm looking forward to LAX versus the Lucha Bros, which was hyped up through this whole thing. Conan doesn't want it to happen because
they gave him like 3 promos.
Yeah, they gave Conan a lot of time. He did good work with it, so congratulations, Conan. I'm looking forward to the Monsters Ball match between Eli Drake and Abyss, and Eli Drake's promo here was very good. I liked it. He comes out of, I'm assuming that was someone's office he came out of, with a piece of paper. And the announcer girl is like, "What does the paper say?" And he just holds it in front of her. She keeps playing down. He's like, "Can you not read?"
I like that. Please involve your interviewers in the interview. Thank you.
He always does that. It's a good thing Eli Drake does. Mm-hmm. Eli Drake is cordially invited to Monsters Ball. So that'll be fun. That'll, you know what? I don't know. I've not really seen enough of Eli Drake, hardcore wrestler, to know if this can be good. But hopefully it will be good. I've seen Eli Drake wrestle. He's pretty solid, and I'm good with it. Kind of in the meh category was Taya and Johnny Mundo taking on Tessa Blanchard and Moose. And
it was mostly Moose's fault.
Yeah, it was in the meh category for the Moose character, basically. I mean, the match was otherwise perfectly fine, and I did, relatively enjoy the fact that Killer Cross's motives are interesting. Like, he's not a face, but he also wants Johnny to sign with him, so he saved his wife from Tessa with a chair. And Cage came down, cleaned house, did his thing, and I always do like the occasional face versus face main event, so that's
correct.
That's okay as well. Looking forward to Homecoming. Now on to the dark side of things.
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't really care for the whole Su Yung Ali thing. It's not really something I'm particularly down with.
That's a lie, and you know it.
No, I'm just really not.
Don't lie to me. You want to see Dark Alley the whole episode?
No. I am down with Dark Alley because I was very, very tired of Bubblegum Alley. That had gone as far as it could go. I'm just not really a fan of the Su Yung character Undead Brides thing. Like it does nothing for me.
Yeah, I mean she's supposed to be the weird kabuki Undertaker lady, and that's not ever gonna happen. It's never gonna be the thing that you want it to be. So I think the best course of action is what they're doing now. Yeah, Su Young's the backdrop. Su Yung hangs around at ringside and does creepy, kind of cliche creepy things. They're not really creepy. No one buys into them at all in any way, shape, or form. No one actually cares about Su Yung at all. But she does provide a motif. She does provide a jumping off point. And we get to see Allie do crazy, kooky, scary things. She looks great in that makeup. She looks great in that outfit. She looks great overall. I don't want this to be what could I be accused of here? An appearist? I don't want this
slightly
to be
perverted angle.
No, well, not all sexual. But she looks like this whole new look looks fantastic. She pulls it off extremely well. And it's very clear that since now she's not this bubblegum weirdo pop star airhead retard that nobody actually cares about, that she's able to do things in the ring that she's always been able to do, but now you get to see what they are. And hopefully we get to see more of that based on this change of appearance. And Su Yung just gets to hang out in the back. Su Yung gets to be the pallbearer instead of the Undertaker. And we don't have to deal with the shenanigans. And hopefully they can pull this off for a couple of years. Like this, if they blow this angle off in less than 6 months, they've wasted their goddamn time. Look at Ghetto. Look at Ghetto. Look at how Ghetto does things. Ghetto likes to bring people to the point where they're ravenous, barking, champing at the bit, waiting to beat his door down. You gotta pull the trigger on this angle. You gotta pull it now. And Geto will wait a full fucking year until he does that.
I feel like there are people beating down Ghetto's door all the time, and he lets them in to realize he's just smoking a massive J, and just basically goes, "Just tranquilo."
That's probably true, actually. He's the one guy in Japan who can get away with it without being, deported from his own country.
He is the complete player.
Mm-hmm. Geto will bring you to the total edge of excitement and then wait a whole year before he pulls the trigger.
He is a man of class, sophistication. He is the most interesting booker in the world. And, when he drinks beer, it's always Dos Equis. But,
I drink a beer. It's a puro.
I'm slightly mixed on the whole deal. Anyways, we got Allie basically squashing Heather Monroe, going to put the mandible claw on her, and then Kiera Hogan made the save. I'm intrigued by Kiera Hogan. I've not seen enough of her in the ring to frankly know whether I give a damn about her as a wrestler, but she has a unique look that I do appreciate.
She has a unique look. She's the Black Hulk Hogan lady.
Hey, which is unique.
She's got yellow and red hair.
Which is unique.
I am not disagreeing, but here's the deal. If I was a race car driver and I decided to adopt a stage name, it probably wouldn't be Schumacher or Franchitti. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Franchitti is really not on that pantheon, but okay.
But it's a name that people... Or Villeneuve. I would not be a Villeneuve. Being a Canadian driver, I would not be a Villeneuve. I would probably also, if I was a wrestler, maybe not adopt the last name Savage. Just putting that out there.
So I had to check this out. That's just her name.
It's really just her name.
That is her name.
Cool, she's taking it back. I'm not mad at it. It's just weird.
I had to look, and that's her name.
Maybe that's the ultimate redemption booking. Hulk Hogan comes back to Impact.
Hey, well, I've kind of become less interested in this. She apparently began her career in 2015, so she is
young.
Green.
Yeah, well, it still could be funny. Hulk Hogan comes back to Impact after his horrendously racist comments. And, which, actually, you know what? I've never actually listened to the tape. I just assume that he's a dumbass fucking retarded racist.
Basically, to sum it up, Cole's notes, he was worried about his daughter hanging around with a rapper who he confirmed was black, and was worried about said black guy spending a lot of money on his daughter only to get her into bed.
That's how guys work.
And his choice of vernacular was problematic.
He's one of the coloreds. Or, stronger language than that, I'm assuming.
His apology to the WWE locker room. God.
Fucking retarded. I'm sorry I got caught, guys. By the way, try not to get caught, dudes. Peace out, brother. Brother.
You never know when the camera might be on you. Here's an idea, Hogan. Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, the camera's on you right now, brother. You might not want to apologize for getting caught. You might want to apologize for doing something fucking racist. Just putting that out there.
And I also loved his, if you can't forgive me, you don't understand the brotherhood of wrestling.
Brother.
I don't have to forgive a guy who doesn't seem to actually be apologizing what he did. That's
exactly.
That's like saying I have to accept Kyle's apology when he's not apologizing for anything, which is basically my relationship with my brother. So there you go. Okay, what else is on the show? Jake Crist defeated Willie Mack to qualify for Ultimate X, as
right.
and Ethan Page also did. And Willie Mack is pissed, and Rich Swann had to. This was odd. Rich Swann being the voice of calmness, the voice of logic and reasoning, a guy who may or may not have savagely beaten his girlfriend.
That's weird. Do you want to talk about that?
We have in the past. Do we have anything really?
I just
We want to add on to it
with the benefit of time and reflection. It's really, really weird. All I'm gonna say is it's weird. I'm not gonna say guilty, not guilty, or whatever. It's really, really weird that you had all of these witnesses who had their story straight, or had a version of a story that maybe I'm not even saying cops, but some reporter grabbed a bunch of statements from a bunch of witnesses and threaded them together. And there was at least 3, right? If I remember correctly, there was at least 3?
Yeah, at least.
At least 3 people who saw all of this go down. And she ran out of the car in the middle of traffic. And he got out of the car and he fucking headlocked the shit out of her and chokeholded her back into the car and screamed at her and yelled at her. And I don't know what else. I can't remember the details. And then it goes to trial, or goes to it went before a judge at some point. I don't remember the proceedings. And the judge is like, yeah, we don't have any evidence. Ka-dunk.
Very weird. Very bizarre.
So I don't know, like, you can make reference to it, but I don't know if you had all of these witnesses, you're telling me Rich Swann went ahead and, like, threatened some people, and then the kingpin of South Florida wrestling got off scot-free? I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing at all.
No, so, I'm not even disparaging, like, particularly guilty comments on the matter. It's just that knowing that Rich Swann is probably most famous for that incident.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a bit weird to have him being like, calm down, Willie Mack. Be cool. Be chill.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, who's his wife again?
Isn't it Sue Young?
Isn't it Sue Young?
Let me confirm.
Okay, I believe it's Sue Young. So now they went from working in different promotions. He got fired from a certain promotion, and within 3 months, he got hired to the same promotion she works in, and all of these witnesses who saw things.
Yep, can confirm his girlfriend / Oh, they did officially marry. Yeah,
Okay.
Officially married to Vanera Riggs, aka Sue Young.
Okay, so what the fuck?
It's very weird.
It's very weird. I would love, and I'm not saying guilty or innocent. I'm just looking at a situation where you had a bunch of circumstances, and now you have some new circumstances, and they're still married. And this was over a year ago. A year and a half ago? Something probably-ish?
Probably in that ballpark, yeah.
Somewhere between 1 and 2 years ago. And they're still married. They're not separated. They're not estranged, as far as we know. They could be. It's not like Wikipedia is hard up on indie wrestlers. It's just like, so what really went on? What really happened? What's going on here?
Something we're probably never really going to have an answer for is
Probably
what that
not.
comes down to. Yeah.
In 20 years, somebody will say, oh yeah, I was off my meds, whether it's him or her.
Katrina and Jordan Grace have a storyline going on where Jordan Grace won a match, and now Katrina's going to be a vindictive bitch, and she's brought in Ruby Race as her new friend, who's you thought transvestite.
I was listen. If this is some transgender acceptance or trans weight acceptance, I mean, we're probably ticking both of those boxes. It was kind of funny to see her come from off camera to right up on the interviewer and like smell her hair, and the interviewer was like, "What the fuck?"
This interviewer is actually fairly talented. She doesn't
She's
dominate.
good.
She doesn't dominate the scene, but she's definitely memorable and adds to it.
Definitely. She adds something to every single interview point I've ever seen her in.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not really digging this storyline, but whatever. It's just starting. Maybe it'll turn around for me.
All I know is I get to see an attractive young lady, and by young I mean less than 50. I don't know how old she is, but I'm gathering. Gonna go with late 30s ish.
Katrina?
Yeah. I'm guessing late 30s, early 40s. And she is very attractive. And she has the European...
Katarina Lee Waters is 38 years old.
There you go. Called it. Where's she from?
She is a German-born English professional wrestler.
Nice. So that explains the accent.
Born in Lüneburg, Lower Saxony, West Germany. Resides in Los Angeles, California.
Bueno. That explains the accent that I'm sure she's German. But then...
Has been wrestling for 18 years.
Listen. I'm in favor of it. Again, not to be a sexist asshole, but she's very attractive.
Ring names have been The Beautiful Nightmare, Katarina Winter, Katie Lee Burchill, Kat Lenoir, Kat Waters, Nikita, and Winter. Usually is billed from Chelsea, England.
That's weird based on the accent, but okay.
Might be where her family's from.
Weird billing, but okay.
Also, I'm assuming she grew up in England after being born in Germany, because it's not really a German accent.
It's not really a German accent.
It's an anglicized German accent.
That's why I'm saying, like, is she Hungarian? Is she Austrian? Is she Swiss? Like, what's going on here? And now you're telling me she's born in Germany, but officially English. That explains a lot.
Mm-hmm. We'll see where the storyline goes. We also had the Desi Hit Squad do a squash match. I don't
Was it a squash
care.
match?
Yeah, the other team didn't really get any offense. Huh?
This is a long time for a squash match.
It just took a while.
Also, I said this while we were watching. I don't want to hear this Hit Squad shit. Unless you're going to actually hit people.
I don't want to see anything from this freaking tag team, period.
Yeah. Well, no, listen.
I'm not interested.
I'm interested if you're a hit squad, if you're going to squad up and hit people. Like, you're going to come out and, like, assassinate somebody, and you're not going to see him for 2 months. That's what I want. That's a hit squad. I don't want to see hit squad as lower mid-card tag team. Fuck off.
Pretty much bottom of the actual tag team division tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything with that. Did we? No, that's about it. So, yeah, largely good things.
One thing I want to go over.
Sure.
Maybe two things. But one thing I've seen in the last 2 weeks of watching wrestling, and my cat's gonna meow in the background because she thinks I'm gonna get up and give her food. That's not happening. Not for 20 minutes. Diabetic cat OP, please nerf. But the one thing I've seen in the last couple of weeks of wrestling that we've been watching is I've seen a lot of tippy-toe butterfly bullshit. I've seen a lot of people who are, I don't know, slowing down to go into spots or slowing down so I don't want to injure anybody, which is great. That's fine. I dig it. I get it. But measure your paces better. I've seen a lot of this tippy toe where you could have taken 3 medium-sized paces instead of 6 to 10 tippy quick toe things. You look like you don't know what you're doing. Worse than that, you look like exactly like you know what you're doing. You look like the person who knows they're going in for a bump. You know you're going to take the bump, and you're tippy toeing in so that you're not going very fast, and that you're not going to have to, you don't have to you're not gonna have to take a bump very hard, and it's gonna be okay, guys. It's gonna be fine. And I've seen this on every promotion we've watched. Every promotion we've watched, I've seen somebody take 6 to 12 little tippy toe steps towards a turnbuckle, knowing the guy's going to spring out of the way, and they can softly bump and brush gently up against it so that they can flop back gracefully onto their back and take a bump for the team. Or we watched one today where the Mac, who we love a whole bunch, but he tippy toed towards the ropes, gracefully, slowly, majestically, softly lowered his head between the top and middle ropes, and Jacob Christenstein grazed his scalp with the toe of his boot, to which he took the bump. I say rather. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. I don't want to see this soft bullshit anymore. You're a professional wrestler. I understand that physically, your life might not be a box of roses. And yes, I said that intentionally. But don't expose the business by slowly moonwalking into a bump, because we can all see it coming. It's 2018. I don't know if you understand how much wrestling. So the one true Kyle has seen probably more wrestling in the past 2 years that I've subjected him to than a random person would have watched in the 80s over the course of 5 years. We know how this is done. We understand. Like, just fucking... That's why I think that's probably why Lucha Underground is as successful as it is. Whether or not it's successful enough to continue, channel politics aside, moneymakers, money people aside, whatever. But they at least film the shit and edit out the ridiculously horrible parts where people tippy toe in and take bumps. I'm very, very much over that particular section of nonsense. And I believe I've stated that several times now, so I'm just going to stop with the rant and let it go.
It was an epic rant.
I'm fucking sick of it.
I do co-sign on the message. So that was our rant to end the episode of the day. no real long-term booking on that one, but I hope you enjoyed it. With Lucha Underground being gone, we're definitely going to try and work more ROH and Impact Wrestling into our reviews.
Yeah.
Assuming that is what people desire from us.
Well, we also have more time to do New Japan stuff. But some of these New Japan cards are 4 hours long, and Mike's got to go to bed. I mean, he's got to be up at 2 a.m., so, I mean...
I think if I had to be up at 2 a.m., I just wouldn't go to bed.
Jesus.
That's the answer to that question.
Just I'm not going to sleep this week.
That would be the case.
In my Dave Mastiff search for the perfect Mohawk pick, I've come across the match we might want to watch from Rev Pro Global Wars 2017.
Nice.
It is your boy David Massifstein against Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh! Very, very interested.
Put him in a body bag!